Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to do something that most folks completely avoid their entire lives. We're going to replace that vague, stressful financial anxiety you might be feeling with precise mathematical clarity. If you've ever felt like you make a decent income but somehow still end up broke, or if your money seems to just quietly vanish by the end of the month, you are definitely not alone. But here's the thing. The solution isn't just making more money. It's shining a bright light on the money you already have. So we're going to walk through a highly effective 30-day wealth audit to finally find your hidden wealth. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is the absolute foundation of everything we're covering today. You cannot manage what you do not measure. It's really that simple. Most people have literally no idea where their money actually is. They're operating on feelings rather than hard facts. And honestly, this lack of measurement is the true root cause of that exhausting paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. When your finances remain unmeasured, you're essentially driving blindfolded, just hoping you eventually arrive at wealth. Well, today, we take the blindfold off for good.
Here's our game plan for today. First, we'll talk about why we need to stop guessing with our money. Then, we'll walk through the actual audit. Step 1 is auditing your assets, Step 2 is facing your liabilities, and Step 3 is finding your net worth. After that, we'll cover setting targets and tracking progress, and finally, we'll expose the fast money trap. All right, let's jump right in.
Part 1. Stop guessing with your money. We are moving from vague awareness to true mathematical clarity. Because here is the reality. Undirected cash always disappears. If you don't give every single dollar a job, it quietly vanishes through forgotten subscriptions, unused services, and those daily impulse purchases. Unmeasured finances lead to hidden leaks because without a clear system, we're forced to rely on human willpower. And here's a fascinating truth from our source material. Willpower is a highly unreliable, limited resource. It inevitably fails, especially during stressful times or, when we're just exhausted at the end of a long day. We need a system that absolutely doesn't rely on motivation, one that works through pure awareness. Let's move on and see how this builds. How do we fix this? With a simple, 3-step audit framework that transitions us from relying on flaky motivation to relying on hard data. Step 1. List your assets. Step 2. List your liabilities. And Step 3. Calculate your net worth. This straightforward process instantly solves the problem of financial guesswork.
Which brings us to Step 1. Audit your assets. What do you actually own?
This is the very first action step of your 30-day audit, and it is all about taking an inventory of the tools you have to build your financial future. I want you to grab a piece of paper right now or open a spreadsheet and list every single asset you own, no matter how small. Your savings accounts, your stock market equity and investments like index funds or retirement accounts, and any real estate you hold equity in. Write the current value next to each one. And no, your vintage comic book collection probably doesn't count just yet, but seriously. These are your wealth-building tools. Average earners work for money, but wealthy individuals own earning assets. This list literally represents the financial machines that will eventually work while you sleep.
Moving right along to Step 2, face your liabilities. Writing down every single debt.
And this brilliantly illustrates the financial tug-of-war you're in. I know this is often the most uncomfortable part of the audit, but listen, you cannot fix an opponent you refuse to look at. On one side, you have your assets, savings, investments, property, the things actually putting money into your pocket. On the exact opposite side, your liabilities, every single debt you owe. Credit cards, car loans, student debt, mortgages. Every credit card, car loan, and mortgage must be strictly accounted for so we can eventually neutralize it. Bad debt is a silent penalty that just drains your wallet and compounds against you, so we absolutely have to face it head on.
All right, Step 3, find your net worth, combining the numbers. This is where we merge our two lists to find the ultimate truth of your financial standing today. Take the total value of your assets, subtract the total value of your liabilities, and boom, you get your net worth. So the crucial point is, this resulting number might be 0, it might be negative, or it might be positive. But whatever it is, realize it's just raw data. It is completely devoid of emotion. It's literally just a mathematical output based on past habits, nothing more and nothing less.
Do not judge your starting number. Awareness is the starting point. I really want you to let that sink in. Money is highly emotional, and seeing a negative or low net worth can trigger a lot of stress. But you have to grant yourself psychological safety here. This number is merely your starting baseline. It is not your final destination. Getting this number out of your head and onto paper is a massive victory in itself. You are finally in control.
Okay, moving on to Section 5. Set targets and track progress, because wealth is built intentionally.
Now that we have our baseline, we shift from just observing to actively building. Here's your roadmap moving forward. Month 1, complete your baseline audit, which is what we just did together. Month 2, track your progress. Did your net worth go up or down? Month 3, set growth targets. Decide exactly how much debt you want to pay off or how much you're going to invest. Month 6, automate your wealth systems. Set up automatic transfers so your savings and investments happen without you even thinking about it. Wealth is never an accident, folks. It requires a monthly habit of tracking progress intentionally.
Now, if you're feeling a little overwhelmed by the gap between where you are and where you want to be, just remember this. Small daily improvements compound rapidly into massive financial success. You don't need huge multi-thousand-dollar leaps today. Our source material refers to this as the snowball effect. A 1% improvement in your daily habits, like saving a few extra bucks or canceling one unused subscription, acts like a snowball rolling downhill. It starts out small, sure, but it accumulates massive weight and momentum over time.
And finally, Section 6, the fast money trap. Why getting rich fast actually keeps you broke.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it contrasts two totally different philosophies. This is the final mindset shift required to make your audit work permanently, rather than just being a fleeting burst of motivation. On one side, you've got get-rich-quick, fast money. It completely lacks automated systems, it relies heavily on hype, and honestly, the wealth vanishes almost instantly because the person never built the discipline to keep it. On the other side, we have slow wealth. It relies on boring, predictable consistency and utilizes steady compounding. The source material emphasizes this perfectly. Boring consistency outperforms spectacular intensity every single time.
To summarize your core wealth lessons here, build automated financial systems so you never have to rely on willpower. Invest your capital consistently, even if it hurts a little at first. Think in decades, not days. And crucially, when you get a raise or a bonus, keep your lifestyle flat and invest the difference. Sustainable wealth is built slowly through strict discipline, not by chasing fast trends.
Which brings us to our final question. Are you ready to start your 30-day wealth audit today and finally measure your money? You now have the absolute blueprint. It's time to stop guessing, pull off the blindfold, and take real action. Because remember, what gets measured gets managed. So I'll leave you with this. If you don't measure your money today, who is going to manage your future tomorrow?